wanted to make a video about human design, specifically about being a projector and like my experience with it and the shadow side of being a projector. Whatever. You will see that probably in like the next video or the one after the next one. But I thought it would be really cool to first just talk about approaching things, approaching ideas, approaching systems of belief, or whatever. Anything, even habits, anything. Because I feel like this is something that is really important and really affects how you interact with something, how you perceive something, and we do not talk about it a lot. That's all. At least I haven't seen it talked about a lot. Well, I mean, I have, but because, because I follow people who talk about that, because I believe that it is important, and, I follow people who talk about the importance of that. And I've learned a lot from them about interacting with things and focusing on that as opposed to just the thing itself. Because I guess that's the main thing, is that it's never about the thing itself. It's about how you interact with it, how you approach it. And it's not just like systems of belief, like for example, human design or Ayurveda or GNM or TCM or even like psychiatry, right? The mental health diagnosis fall into this bucket of, okay, how are you interacting with this thing? How are you approaching this thing? And if someone says to you, well, in human design, you're a manifester, and that means that blah, 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 blah. How are you accepting that? How are you interacting with that piece of information or with that idea that someone has offered you? I feel like it's really useful to be aware of that, just like for yourself. Are you constantly looking for something that is going to explain what's wrong with you? And potentially also, so something that's going to explain what's wrong with you, and also potentially give you a reason to keep doing everything the same way that you've been doing it, like maybe some things that you claim you want to change, but you don't really want to change them, right? Because it feels kind of good. And in that case, maybe, you're like hungry for someone to tell you, oh, this is what's wrong with me. This is what's wrong with me. Let me now feel bad about this or whatever, Or on the other hand, maybe you're like a bit of a contrarian soul, and basically whatever anyone says, you're like, well, yeah, that's bullshit. That's nonsense, whatever, and it's going to be automatically labeled as that has no meaning, no substance, that is not useful to me at all. I don't know. Or maybe you're looking for ways of like, okay, how can this help me? How can this help me do more of what I want? How can this help me be the kind of person that I want to be? How can this help me be more aligned with myself? I don't know, I'm not saying now I know that it sounds like my position is, well, one of these things is better, but because kind of, also some approaches are clearly better and more, constructive than others. But when you're observing that within yourself, like I know for myself, when I'm observing that within myself, it's important to just notice that that's just how it is, and this is just information. And if I notice that I'm actually really, if I believe deep down that there's something wrong with me and I'm desperately searching for some sort of system that's going to tell me how to fix that, it's just good to be aware of that, right? And it's not just these, ideas or systems of belief or some sorts of frameworks. It's also, it's everything, really, right? It's your problems, right? It's never really your problem that is the problem. It's never what you think the problem is, but it's how you're approaching that problem, how you're interacting with that problem. That is your actual problem. Or at least, again, I don't know, this is what I have definitely observed in myself. It has turned out to be true time and time again. And so, yeah, the reason I wanted to just mention these, have like a little short video that's a bit of a disclaimer, I guess, not really, just like a bit of an introduction to anything I want to talk about, really, is because of, well, exactly that, that I do feel it is much more important when it comes to like my own consumption of ideas, especially ideas on the internet, but any kinds of ideas. It has just been so useful to observe how I interact with those ideas, much more than what the actual idea is. And I'm not saying that this is completely irrelevant, right? It's not, there are some really cool things that I like, that I believe in, and there are some cool things that resonate with me, and there are some things that don't resonate with me, right? Like, there's still a difference in all of these different ideas, but I feel like it is rarely talked about and rarely observed and rarely focused on this aspect of like, okay, how are you approaching this? How are you even entering this space of, if I say, okay, I'm going to make a video about human design, and if I then start to talk about this, are you even, are you aware of how you're entering into this conversation of what are like all of the different filters that you're sifting this information through, all of your predetermined beliefs that, either what I'm talking about is going to help you with or not help you with, or maybe this is going to be something to disagree with or something to agree with or something to fix you or something to save you or something to explain you, whatever, right? Like, there's no again, none of this is like good or bad. It's just, it's nice to observe that, I think. I have found in myself, all of this, I'm just talking about like my own experience, that this is something that has really helped me just have first of all, a better understanding of myself, and also helped me interact with things more in the way that serves me, in the way that, is just overall more pleasant, I guess. Yeah, so with that in mind, the next video is going to be about human design and about projectors, blah, 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 and like all the future videos that I make about either human design or German medicine or, I don't know, anything, personal growth, or also creative writing, right? It's like the same thing applies also to creative writing, craft, or any other kind of craft or habits that you want to establish, or, hobbies that you want to participate in. It's so valuable to observe how you are entering that, how you're approaching that, how you relate to that. And then next to look at, okay, what that thing actually even is. Hope that has been helpful. I don't know. I feel like it's such a big, I feel like this is such a valuable thing to do that I just want to make a longer video about this to really, show the gravity of it. But actually, that's it. I don't know. I don't really have anything more to say other than, yeah, like, I would advise you, and it has proven to be very useful to me, to really observe how I'm interacting with things much more than what those things are, at least for a period of time, because a lot of people are not aware of how they're interacting with things. And I'm sure I'm, still not, like, I'm not completely aware or whatever. I've barely scratched the surface or something. So yeah, if I think of like more things to say about this, or to articulate, expand on this a little bit more, maybe I'll make another video on that or something. But yeah, I just wanted to say this so that I have this little foundation, this basis from which we're going into the human design video or any other topic that I want to dive into in the future. So yeah, if that makes sense, let me know in the comments, and I will see you in the next one.